Hello, hello, check 1, 2. Arco's in the house. What's up, buddy? How's it going? Let me know if you can hear me loud and clear. This is my first time streaming with Ecamm. Oh, looks like it's coming through. That's good news. Okay. Just doing a cash setup session here. Hope you guys are all doing great. What's going on with this thing? Oh, there we go. Alan, what's going on? Welcome. Let me know if you guys can let me know if you guys can hear me loud and clear. I got a little background music. I'm kind of testing out like a little thing in the background. Let me know, is that loud or is that chill and quiet? It's kind of hard to tell. Hey, Alexandra. Welcome. How's it going? Sound is good? Okay, cool. Thanks. Why do I have a forest in my room? Yeah, a little, you know, I got this gigantic window right here, and it faces the west. So when the sun sets in the afternoon, it gets unbearably hot in here. It's like the whole window is like a gigantic magnifying glass, and I can't work when it gets that hot. And I don't have AC in this room. I got a fan, but the AC is in the other room. But also, for making videos, for shooting videos from like this angle, the window makes the whole situation backlit, so it looks a little bit weird. And then, so I bought these like curtains the other day. I was like, well, I'll buy some colorful curtains. And you know, it's funny because I was like, oh, maybe I'm gonna miss not being able to see outside. But actually, it really helps my concentration because I'm kind of like ADHD, and it really helps to not get distracted from the outside world. So having some like, I don't know, I've just been able to work a little bit more efficiently as of late, without the distraction of the view. If I need a view, I can just go to the other room. Hey guys. Welcome, welcome. Who's here? Wish, how's it going, man? Dave McPolin, good to see you. Willem, welcome. Arco says, were you able to download my track? Yes, sir. Yeah, I got it queued up, ready to go. Okay, well, I guess this is all working good. So, yeah, quick chat about what's going on. Today, we are doing a little submission review for August challenge, which was to get a handful of tracks together and pitch it to a library. You didn't have to pitch to a library, but you had to kind of like, the challenge was to get like a playlist or you know, a group of tracks together in preparation to kind of like to put it out there in terms of an application. So you guys did a great job on this one. I was really impressed because last night I had 5 submissions, and this morning I woke up and I had 10. It's like, oh man, I gotta make that cutoff like the night before. So I had to load in a bunch of stuff. I haven't made any notes, so this is all just gonna be like off the top of my head. Hey Catalan, how you doing? Good to see you. Different curtains for different style of music. I don't know what style of music this would be. Well, we got the mushrooms in the background, so that's kind of like trippy psychedelic music, and I don't know, maybe this is like folk music or something. Country folk. Anyway, what's new in the music world? We got a lot going on here, guys. I got to be honest with you. I didn't even sleep that much last night, so I'm a little bit like I'm running on empty at the moment, but there's a lot going on. I'm excited. It just seems like now that the summer's over, September starts, it just like everyone is back in action. I got a lot of projects that I'm sort of juggling at the same time. What's new? Project Sam Orchestra 2. So you guys see that? That's kind of cool. I'm actually stoked that Project Sam has updated that, because I always thought the free orchestra was like one of the cooler freebies out there. So if you haven't noticed already, Project Sam is kind of like rebooting the free orchestra and releasing a new instrument every month. I think that's a really smart idea on their part. Kind of similar to like what Labs is doing, and you know, it's cool. I'm stoked. I'll probably do another like YouTube video about, you know, using some of the free stuff. I always think it's cool that these companies are putting free stuff out there, because you know, not everyone has the budget to like throw down hundreds of dollars on these expensive sample libraries. SoundPaint is coming out with some crazy stuff. Telling you guys, keep an eye out for what SoundPaint is doing. I think they're really going to blow up the production or the virtual instrument space very soon. They've been kind of like low profile, and like, you know, I've really been enjoying their products, and I've been using them for some time, and I haven't done a proper YouTube video about them, but I will sometime soon. Their Commodore 64 UDS library is one of the coolest that I've ever played. It's such an intense library, and anyway, they're about to release a polyphonic legato string ensemble library called Adastra. You can go check it out on their YouTube channel. They've done a couple of walkthroughs for it, and I'm just like, I'm just gotta get my hands on this. Like, it just sounds so cool. And they're on some really like interesting tech stuff. Like they're really they're on some space age level sampling tech. It's pretty cool. Sorry, I gotta pay attention to my comments here. Hey, John's in the house. Hey Steve, did you get my submission? Sorry it was late. No, I did not. Thank you for letting me know. Let me see. Is it here? Yeah, I think I see it now. Let me just download it. You guys and your last minute submissions. Thanks for letting me know though. Otherwise I totally would have missed it. Okay, so let me just pull this into this session. Bear with me. Okay, John, you're in. You're in the queue. Arco says we could submit more than one. Well, no, I'm just showcasing one track from your submission today. Otherwise, the stream would be hours and hours long. Dave says, just installing Ozone 11. Anyone else want to jump on it yet? Anyone else jump on it yet? No, I haven't. I'm still on Ozone 9. Didn't 10 just like... Oh, man, I'm... When did that come out? 11. Alexandra says, I used Project Sam in my submission. Awesome, yeah. Yeah, I noticed that. That's cool. I still have yet to download the library and mess around with the Saltasto strings they got there. Arco says, Labs picks up some instruments from Piano Bug. Yep. Yeah, Piano Bug is really killing it as of late. Willem, what's going on? I can only join the live session until 1:30, next 25 minutes, but I'll catch the rest a bit later. Sounds good, buddy. I can't remember where you are in the queue, but... Thomas, welcome. Arco says, I'm excited for today's challenge. Okay, look, I'm trying to get good at this new live streaming thing that I'm using. I think I can add this to the screen. Yeah, there you go. Look at that. Arco, you're featured. Catalan delivered it late too. Is mine there? I believe so. Let me just double check. Yep. You're all good, buddy. 24-hour live stream. That would be sick. I don't know, man. Ozone 11 came out 2 hours ago. Okay, cool, man. Definitely go check that out. What do they got? What do they got up their sleeves this time? There must be some like AI tech in there. Nick, Sound Jam Studios is in the house. Hey, man. How are you? Look at this thing. Is that an ugly looking drink or what? My wife made it for me, but it's very healthy. It actually tastes really good. Yeah, man, this is your first live PMA live stream. That's cool. I'm glad you're here, man. Willem says, I love that Project Sam releases it once a month. Little gift each month for a whole year. Yeah, totally. I can't wait to see what they got coming up. Nick, I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. There's a lot going on. I'm trying to balance a lot of stuff over here, but man, you know, I'm excited. Yep, Alexandra, this is a smoothie. There's all sorts of healthy stuff in it. Big shout out to my wife for making such a delicious drink for this live stream. Arco says most healthy food never looks and tastes good. I beg to differ. Most, maybe. All right. What else is new? Sorry for this like sluggish start. I'm just chilling here. I don't really feel like rushing. What else is going on? Oh man, you know, that Unity video I did. I don't know if you guys caught that about the trailer synth. It's not like it went viral or anything, but like a lot of people noticed it. Like a lot of sample library companies noticed it. So it must have been suggested by the algorithm gods, and now I got quite a few developers sending me, like, asking me to do reviews of the products, and like, and this is such a cool development for me because it's one of these unexpected benefits of just putting the time into YouTube is that people will send me stuff for free that I really like and use in my music. I'm like, sweet. So yeah, like it got a couple of things happening over the next month. You're gonna see more reviews of sample libraries. Doing some work with some companies. Yeah, signing up to affiliate programs that like, and getting behind products that I actually believe in, you know, which is the coolest thing. It's the coolest thing for me to do because I really love digging into the sample library world, and I find, yeah, a lot of these the products that are coming out these days are just really impressive. Hey, Resty, welcome, Resty Joseph. I can't wait to get into some production stuff too, man. So will some Arco ask if these guys are paying me? It's not like some of the videos, like some of the will get sponsored, like DistroKid, for example, like might be sponsoring a future video which will be paid. And some of these companies work on like affiliate programs, right? So if you put a link in the description and if people buy a product, you get a kickback. And then there's other situations like you know, with Cubase, where I'll do videos for their channel, and that's paid work. So every situation is a little bit different. Hey Alex, how's it going, man? Good to see ya. Thomas asks, do you know when the next videos with you on Cubase channel will appear? Man, I hope soon. I've been talking with them, but they're really, really busy at the moment with some new stuff that they want to release. So I was hoping to get to work on a new project with them this month, but it probably will get pushed back a little bit, to be honest. But yeah, I mean, realistically, within the next few months, hopefully, and it'll be like a rock track this time. I don't know if I'm supposed to spill the beans on that, but I just did. Brody, how's it going, man? Am I still uploading to Motion Array regularly? Yeah. I mean, not as regularly as I was last year. And the reason for that is just because I have so many commissions from Artlist that it just keeps me so busy. Like, and I really just have to focus on those because they pay the bills, and I only have so much time in the day to focus on like music that I'm going to send for Motion Array, because if I'm sending it if I'm sending it to Motion Array, it means that it would have to be under a non-exclusive deal with Artlist, which I'd be doing, but I have to split that with the exclusive stuff that I'm sending Artlist to, and that I can't upload anywhere. So other than just to send it to Artlist, if that makes sense. So no, I haven't been sending them nearly as much as I was last year. But that being said, still uploading. I think I put up a track there like less than a month ago, and yeah, it was a staff pick. It did okay. I'm still averaging probably, I don't know, $400, $500 a month. Probably a little bit less than that actually over this year. There's been a couple of months that was pretty slow, less than $500, but some of my older tracks still do well on the search algorithm, so grateful for that. Hey Alex, no, it's fancy background. Yeah, it's Ecamm. Yeah. Yeah, I like OBS because it's free, but I'm happy to pay a little premium for some convenience. Arco asks, our Artlist originals are non-exclusive? No, they are exclusive. Yeah, Brody, meaning they ask for, yeah, exactly. They ask for specific types of tracks. Alexandra asks, I have a question on the subject of our challenge. My initial approach was to take a look at artists who have the same style of music as mine and see what sync libraries they're working with, but I couldn't find that info. Do they keep it a secret? Yeah, like, do you be trying to do some research on the artists themselves and to find and trying to see whether they're working with much of their libraries? I mean, I think most artists or composers probably wouldn't make that information public. I mean, even I have to be pretty discreet about some of the people that I'm working with. I have a couple publishers that are just like, don't say my name on YouTube, or like don't mention me, because they just want to work with like a specific, handful of people, and they don't want like to be inundated with like submissions and stuff. So like they go looking for people to work with, and they don't want people to apply. I don't think that's the case for all, like most music libraries, but there's like smaller companies that are just that prefer that I just keep it on the DL. Eric's in the house. What's going on? How are you, buddy? We are just chilling here. I'm really dragging my feet. I haven't even started the track reviews yet. the best is the background track sounds spooky. Come on, man. It's like a chill, it's a chill, uplifting lo-fi track. I guess maybe at lower volume it sounds a little weird. Okay, yeah, so Alexandra says, I can see their placements, but not the libraries they're working with. You could probably, like, trace the placements to... I mean, in some cases you can. I noticed that, like, there's a couple of shows that I was watching where in the credits they named the music libraries that they're sourcing their music from, but not all of them do that. Yeah, this is true. This is true. I think that a lot of composers are like, they keep this information on the DL. Even some people that I know like quite well, they just don't want to talk about it. Secretive. Okay. What else? What else was I gonna say? Oh yeah, Hip Hop Masterclass is still on sale, folks. 20% off. That link is in the description below. If you're not in the Academy, go check it out. And I'm going to be doing more of those promos more regularly in the Academy. So for folks that are inside, then you can expect to see some more promotions coming up, especially for next month in October. Probably be like a Thanksgiving sale, maybe a Halloween sale. I'm working on an affiliate program for the Academy. And I don't know what else is going on. YouTube schedule is crazy. A lot of stuff coming up. And I got a show tonight that I got to rehearse for. As soon as this is over and done with, gotta go rehearse some songs. Brody says I did some stuff for Discovery Channel and the library I'm with, gotten the credits. Yeah, cool. See, so that's something that you could do if you're like, if you what was it, the show that I saw? I was watching Alone. You guys watch that show? It's about like those people that survive out in the wild, and the winner gets like $100,000 or something. Anyway, I was watching that, and I noticed that they listed the library that they got some of the trailer music from in the credits, and I went and did some research on that. It's a cool way to find some new libraries. Hey James, what's going on? What are my thoughts on Pond 5 only offering 35% split of royalties musicians? I mean, they lowered it a long time ago, didn't they not? It used to be like 50-50, or maybe it was 40 or 45 or something. I remember when they brought it down to 30 and everyone was really pissed about that. What do I think about it? I mean, I don't know. I don't like it. I don't like it. I feel like we should, the musicians should be getting more, but then again, you know, you have like, I think these libraries are just like mega saturated with music. I mean, Pond 5 has just got bazillion music tracks on there. And I'm assuming that from like the corporate level, they're just like, well, people are still going to send us lots of music, and we have a lot of music, so why should we pay? Why should we keep paying composers like, you know, the 50? I mean, it's like one of those things. That's frustrating, but it definitely makes me want to work, or it definitely de-incentivizes me to you know, upload music there, and I haven't in a long time, you know. But that being said, I think Pond 5 is still a great place to start, you know. And if I was starting right now, I'd probably upload some tracks on Pond 5, and I'd probably feel like stoked about getting a sale there. In the same way that I did when I first uploaded tracks to Audio Jungle, and you know, Audio Jungle takes a big old cut too. And they have some like stupid fees that they, you know, it's like senseless. But I remember being like so excited about the fact that like one of my tracks sold the license, and it wasn't about the money. It was just about, you know, being validated, I guess, on some level, and just being stoked that someone somewhere wanted to use my music for the project. Like that's a cool feeling. So I still think that Pond 5 is like not a bad place to kick things off if you're just like feeling intimidated about where to send music, where to start. It's kind of like a training ground, you know. Yeah, it used to be 50-50, not worth it in my opinion. Fair enough. Catalan, do I still get the occasional sale from AJ? Yeah, occasionally. They paid me out a little while ago. It's been a while, but I did get over that $50 threshold. I saw that Daniel Carrizales did a video a little while ago about Envato elements, and he still makes like pretty decent monthly cash in there. The Audio Jungle authors that got into elements are just lucky. They're just so lucky. I wish I'd gotten in there. I wish I'd got on Audio Jungle. I wish I discovered it a lot sooner than I did. I definitely missed the golden days. Have I tried selling my music directly by advertising on social media? I've never paid for advertising on, I've never advertised for my music for sale on social media. Quite like you're saying. I kind of, because for a little while when I first started working on Audio Jungle, I started a YouTube channel where I was making little videos of my sync tracks. I was kind of inspired by what like Morning Light was doing, and he had put up all of his songs to these like really well edited YouTube videos, and he was pointing towards his Audio Jungle author profile, and those videos really blew up on YouTube. And actually, I think he probably made a lot of cash. And then eventually he took his music off the Audio Jungle platform and made his own website and library and started selling directly, which I thought was a really smart move. And so I did that for a little bit, and I linked it to a Patreon account. And it's funny because I didn't have a lot of success with it. I think I had like 4 or 5 patrons at one point. And the idea was like that they would get like new music from me like once a week or something like that, a new track, and I would whitelist their channels. And there's a bunch of people that have been doing that for a while, and there's a couple people who are just killing it. They got like a lot of people supporting them, and they just have like a library that they give you access to, and they whitelist your channel. So they're kind of like acting like a little DIY music library in a sense. There's this Ukrainian guy that's been doing it for a long time. I can't remember his name. You guys might remember. He's been writing these like licensing music for a long time, but he's got like a big Patreon following. It's worth my time. Morning Light has 3 million subs. Yeah, Morning Light he writes some great music. Okay, folks. Let's get to the nitty gritty. Arco, you're up first. Let me change my view here. Okay, Arco, Dreams Unveiled. I like the title. Arco, you had a couple things to say. Not much to say, but here are some words on this track called Dreams Unveiled. The track is inspired from one of your videos called How to Write Music for Documentaries. I am aiming to submit to Musicfine, and I heard some music for documentaries there. Awesome. That's great to hear, man. And I want to just give Arco a big shout out here on the stream because he is leaving to go to school in the UK. Am I right? Is it London? I can't remember if you told me. But that's a big deal, man. And it just like, that's really exciting. And it's scary at the same time. I remember being like, 18 or so when I left home and just being super excited and having the time of my life. And that's awesome, man. So I'm just giving you a big shout out. I hope it all goes well. I know you're leaving really soon. And we're all looking forward to, hearing what happens and your progress with school and studying music. So it's good for you, man. Stoked for you. Okay, so let's play this track. Here we go. That's so awesome, dude. I mean, Arco, I gotta say, I'm just really impressed with the progress that you've made in your productions, man. This is leagues beyond like the first tracks I reviewed from you. When you started with the Academy. Even before that, I remember you sharing a couple tracks on one of Eric's live streams, and I just feel like you've put the work in, and it really shows. Because not only is the mix feel really nice and balanced, but like there's a lot of really beautiful textures here, and I just totally could picture this in a documentary. Like in some kind of a lot of different kind of scenes. It feels very it feels very useful and licensable. I'm really really stoked on what you've done here, man. This is awesome. This is definitely like top notch. I think if there was anything like I could say about it is maybe the end. I'm not sure. I think you're ending on the one. No, I don't know. It doesn't end on like the one chord sort of. There's a bit of a question mark ending there, but I kind of like it actually. It feels maybe that it doesn't feel super conclusive, but I don't know. I actually kind of dig it. So yeah, man, great job. I think this is a great way to start the stream today. That was the relaxing vibe that I needed. So great work, man. Let us know in the comments where you plan on pitching that. Okay, next up, Andreas. Okay, Andreas has got a few notes for me here. This is a track called Evolving. This is my first instrumental album. It contains 10 tracks, mostly 10 piano pieces, some with additional instruments like harp or guitar. Composed the music 4 weeks ago while I had summer holiday time. It all started with Eric Copeland's recommendation to do 10 songs in 10 weeks. So thank you to Eric. At the moment, I think this album should go to Spotify and other streaming platforms, but the decision has not been made yet. Also, some sheet music could emerge. Thanks for the showcase here. And this track is one piano solo. I played it on a Roland RD88 and used the Giant library. Okay, cool. So let's check this out. Here we go. Wow. Wow, Andreas, that's beautiful, man. I love it. I love that. It's so cool that you sent something like this to me because I mean, it not only speaks to the level of musicianship that you're at. I mean, like most of the stuff that I've heard from you is like a lot of guitar, and I like, dude, you're playing guitar, you're playing bass, you play piano. What else? What else do you got? It's amazing, man. It was really good. Speaking of like pitching to Spotify playlists, I think that's a good strategy for this. I'm sure that there's libraries that would be totally down with this too, but I know that there's quite a few popular solo piano playlists on Spotify. I feel like this could fit right in. I know that because my wife is like a classical pianist too, and she's been writing some music that she's kind of intending to pitch to Spotify playlists as well. So she's doing some research on that herself. And it's funny because I mixed one of her tracks just recently that was very similar to this. And I used Noir and I baked in like a lot of felt, a lot of felt, and like pushed up the tonal depth and made it like super cinematic. And she's like, can you chill on all the mechanical noise and stuff? And she's like, I just wanted to sound like more natural. And I feel like this is like a better representation of what she was hoping for. So it just feels natural, and the mix feels good. And I think that my preference is for like a lot of, that like creaking, like piano bench noise and the mechanical noise and a lot of texture. That's like kind of my style. But so you wouldn't want me to mix your piano track. But I like it both ways. This is kind of like just, it feels a little bit more tame on that textural level, but it totally had a great vibe, and the composition itself is beautiful. It's really, really nice. There's some like dynamics there, some slowing down, just feels natural and human. That's great. Great work. The stream agrees. Yeah, super nice. Super nice. Awesome. Thank you so much, Andreas. Okay, moving on. We got Willem is up next. This is a track called Back on Top, and Willem sent me some notes. Willem says, after a few of my tracks being accepted at Pond 5, awesome to hear that, by the way, I feel that I'm ready to take on the next challenge, which is getting accepted by Motion Array. A lot of the half-finished tracks on my hard drive, some of them only song ideas, have a cinematic quality to it, but with a tinge of hip-hop. I therefore decided to do the Academy's orchestral hip-hop course using one of these half-finished tracks. Excuse me. It was then that I realized how much more I enjoyed this genre over others, making the 5-song submission a challenge I can definitely see myself taking on. Back on Top is the first of the 5 tracks I'm going to submit to them. I saw now that I can realistically produce a track like this in 3 weeks. With more experience, my production time will hopefully shorten, but using this as a guideline, I plan to have my 5 tracks finished and ready for submission by the end of November 2023. Sweet. Oh, and about the track, almost all the instruments are free or stock Logic. Alex B was my inspiration on that front, except for the bass, which is the Baby Audio's BA1. For the orchestra, I used a combination of Project Sam's free orchestra Discover by BBC, Labs short strings, drums are all from Kymatics. Vocals are also from Kymatics. Cymatics or Kymatics, I don't know. I hear people saying it differently on YouTube. Finally, the trailer hits are a combination of those found on the Academy and Flame Sounds Inferno sound effects. 50 free sounds. Sweet. Okay, let's check it out. Woo! Nice one, Willem. Okay. I have a few thoughts. Let me just change my screen up here. Yeah, a lot of twists and turns here. I think there's a very distinct kind of like A, or there's like, it almost feels like there's two like A sections, maybe a distinct A and B section. I think that in terms, there's a few thoughts I had. Let me see if I can kind of remember what I was thinking. Personally, I feel like the ARP thing that you're using, that sort of instrument, I don't know what you would call that patch, but it's bouncing around kind of like throughout the whole track. I feel like you can probably chill on that in certain sections. I feel like that it doesn't need to be there. It takes up a lot of like mental space when I listen to the track, and I feel like you could kind of embrace some more openness, you know. And like I know that sometimes there's like a compulsion on my part to like fill a track with sound if I feel like it's too, you know, empty or just like open. And I sometimes try to, you know, remind myself that like it's okay to kind of like have a bit more openness. So I think, I don't know if you guys would agree, but I feel like that ARP probably doesn't need to be there. So it doesn't need to be present across the whole track. It's just a little distracting for me. I'll be honest there. But yeah, there's a few other points where I would say maybe do something to highlight some of the string staccatos a bit more in the mix. Especially, I think it was during this section here. I know you're kind of limited with like the free orchestra, and I mean the right string library will do a great job at kind of cutting through the mix there. But just yeah, this is one sort of little small thing I noticed, is that some of those string staccatos, which I think are so integral to like making like an orchestral hip hop track kind of, you know, hit hard, they're a little bit buried throughout this section. Yeah, can kind of hear the strings going, like following the bass line, which I think is great. And there's a lot of really cool orchestral like counter melodies going on, which I think is awesome too. But I think I would focus, like for hip hop, I kind of try to keep the bass and like the rhythm in focus. So if the string staccatos are following like a bass line, or like, some weird noises behind me, then I would probably put that in focus in the mix a bit more. I don't know if that makes sense. Hopefully I'm not too scatterbrained with my feedback here. Like I said, this is just off the top of my head. This is my gut reaction. The chord change is tricky to pull off. Like the full twist and turn like of the track like into a completely different like chord progression is a little unconventional, I think, for licensing music, but it's not impossible to pull it off. I tend to really keep my tracks super simple in terms of the motifs. I generally tend to not change the progression too much. It's more just like stripping elements away and then bringing them back in. So there's maybe something to be said for simplifying a little bit, but that being, I try to be careful with that suggestion, because sometimes people send me really interesting progressions and really interesting tracks, and I'm like, wow, that really does work. I think you could pull it off, but I think for sync music, it's sometimes recommended to just keep it like really simple, which can be counterintuitive sometimes. I don't know. What do you guys think in the comments? Either way, I hope I'm not coming down too hard on your track here, Willem. I love it. It's got tons of energy, and I'm really glad that you took the orchestral hip hop course. Hopefully those thoughts are helpful for you. Alan says very creative, dark, and fun at the same time. Yeah, totally. Spent 2 days mixing. That's a lot of time. See, this is the worst part, is like I almost feel bad giving people feedback sometimes, because I know what it's like. I used to take so much time to finish tracks, just like you put your life and blood, sweat, and tears into a mix, and then you get guys like me ripping it apart. Yeah, so it sounds as if the woods are winning over the strings. That's exactly sort of what I was trying to say. I think I would probably opt to showcase the strings a bit more. Not at all. The advice you give is golden. Thanks, man. Oh man, my pleasure, Willem. Thanks so much for sending it over, and yeah, keep me posted on your progress with the motion array submission, man. I'm here to help. Okay, so let's keep it moving. We're going to check out Alexandra's track next, and this one's called Ancient. And Alexandra sent me some notes. For this month's challenge, my goal is to submit an application to a new sync library. I found the library Vanacore Music and decided to submit my application to them for two main reasons. One, I feel, or I see that they have many great placements, which show that the library is active and worth trying to submit an application to. Number two, they have a catalog of dark ambient music that I'm aiming for. I'm about to send an application of 5 tracks in the dark minimal electronic style by sharing the link to my website. As of now, I have uploaded only 1 track with the artwork to be showcased for this challenge. Should we check out this this artwork? Let's do it. Gotta figure out how to change my screen here. Show Google Chrome. Does that work? There we go. Nice. Where'd you get that artwork from? That looks good. I like the font too. Sweet. Okay, cool. So you got it up on the website. That's excellent. Let's change it back to the Logic. And what else? Some other notes here. Okay, so As of now, I've uploaded only one track with the artwork as I couldn't find a separate music submission form for composers, which I believe does not necessarily mean that they are not accepting new composers. Yeah. Yeah. You know, it's not always an indication just because they don't have a contact. I mean, if they have a contact link, then there's a way to get a hold of somebody, and, you know, maybe they just don't have like an open submission link on the website just because they are, or it's a way to kind of cut down on the amount of people reaching out to them. I don't know. But, you know, if a library doesn't want to hear from you, they're going to write it on their website. I mean, it's like not open to submissions. Right? I mean, I see a lot of libraries that are like, you know, no, doors closed for now, which they aren't saying. So if they're not saying it, then yeah, send it to them. Okay, I'm about to send them an email telling them that I've seen their placements and studied their music catalog and would like to contribute my music exclusively to them. Let's see how it goes. Yeah, awesome. I'm wishing you the best of luck with that. I really hope you get in. I've heard of Vanacore before, a long time ago. Can't remember where or how, but they've been around. About this track, I've listened to the tracks that are already in the library's catalog and decided to follow the same dark ambient style. I'm a bit concerned about the sound selection, especially the strings and the lead. Do they sound natural? For the strings, I used the Saltasto strings from the Free Orchestra 2 by Project Sam, which James had recently recommended in the Academy. So would love to hear your opinion and overall feedback. Cool. Let's check it out. Nice. Great work, Alexandra. That's awesome. Yeah, I was listening to another of Alexandra's track like a week ago in the same style, and these are super cool. I think they're going to work well for the library. If I had to give you any feedback about this track, I might say actually give you really similar advice to the other track that you sent me, which is maybe to allude a little bit to this climactic section near the end with like some like a bit of like a bass swell here and there, just kind of like building the energy a little bit throughout this section to this section leading up might be a good idea. Just something, you know, it could be like just like a sub hit with like a bass swell. Just bringing up the energy a little bit throughout here, I think would be a good call. In terms of the sound selection, I mean, the strings aren't the strings aren't the best sounding strings, but they kind of get the job done for this track, I think. I mean, it's like, I do really think that it's worth investing in like a really solid string library. Like, you know, I don't know what I would suggest. I mean, I know that like my Spitfire chamber strings like come in handy in a lot of situations. They're very versatile, and it's been a great investment for me to have those, because I use them in like something that's epic and cinematic, something that's like folky, something that's dark, and they play well in a lot of like different genres. So I think it's worth having like a really good string library. Obviously, when you get something like the free orchestra, you're getting like a lack of, there's only one round robin, or there's no, I don't think that there's like more than one. So it feels like a little bit stale when you use libraries like that. But that being said, like I think you incorporated it really well into this section. I think my one biggest issue with the sound selection, I think, is just the kick that you're using. Not to be super nitpicky, but I feel like the kick just has like a little bit too much top end bite to it. I would have used something that's like a little bit more subdued, like a little bit subbier. It feels too clicky for me, but that's just me being a little kick snob. So that was just one thing I noticed. If I would just use it like a deeper, like subbier kick, I think that would suit the style more. But you guys let me know. Let me know if I'm off base, or if I'm giving bad advice here. But yeah, that was my like intuition when I listened to it. I in terms of, other than that, like I love the intro vibe. Like what, I don't know what. Tell me what this is. This sounds so cool. I want that patch. Whatever it is, I want that patch. That sounds really, really cool. I like that. Yeah, really dark. I mean, in terms of the mood and the vibe, you absolutely nailed it. So, yeah, great job, Alexandra. Thank you so much for sending it over, as always. Alan says, I love the atmosphere and the mix. Yeah, awesome. I was about to ask your advice on purchases before Black Friday. Yeah, that's coming up kind of soonish, isn't it? Yeah, I can definitely just send me an email if you want. I can give you a whole list of what I think works, and I got lots of opinions about string libraries. Yeah, Thomas says, I absolutely love it. Can hear it already in some true crime. Totally. Hey, Chad's in the stream. What's up, man? Did you forgot to send my track over? Dude, you send it now. Send it over. I'll throw it down. Okay, awesome. Let's move on to who's up next. Michael. We got a track here called Be With You Soon. Now, I think, so Michael's been working on a folk album. He says, my plan is to send to a sync library. I believe I can use some folk, but would really love your input as to whether you would send to a sync library, a non-PRO, or a subscription library. This is my first attempt at folkish, and I really don't know where I stand with them. If these were yours, where would you be sending them? That's a tough question. So many options. Okay. About the track, your folk breakdown and song. I've been playing guitar for a long time. Awesome. Okay, cool. We're going to take a listen here. Oh, and I think Michael sent me a playlist of tracks, and this is I would just mention that this is the one I thought was a standout track on that playlist. Nice lap steel, pedal steel there. I like that. What are you using? What are you using for that? I wonder if it's the ink steel. Mike, a great track, man. Just a couple of thoughts for you in terms of the mix. I might try to look for a bit more consistency with some of the percussion that you're using here. Like it kind of comes in and out and feels like a bit random. Also, I would say that some of these transitions and like some of the percussion actually it's as well feels like a little bit heavy in the mix. I would put those like shakers and the tambourine hits like a little bit behind the guitar work and yeah, I mean. Yeah, I really think you could focus like the track more just on the guitar work and like the cinematic elements themselves. I think those are really useful. You don't need a ton of percussive energy in a track like this, I think, in order for it to be useful. And you know, with the constant crash in the background with the drums, like also I just don't think it's necessary. I think it's kind of cluttering up the mix a little bit. So just a little bit of mix thoughts for you, but in terms of the vibe of the track, I love it, man. You know, as far as where to send it, I don't know if I mean, you've been working with sync libraries, so I think that if you got a good thing going with like you know, with some sync libraries already, it's worth sending it to them. But you know, if you're trying to expand and work with some other libraries, you know, I just think it's really tough to kind of give advice about that because there's so many pros and cons to both working with like royalty-free libraries and working with sync. So, you know, people are really split on what the best strategy is. But I think that if you're curious about royalty-free libraries, you know, as far as where to send it, I mean, you know already that I work with only a small handful of them. I mean, I work with Motion Array, Artlist, and you know, I still have some work on like Audio Jungle and Pond 5 and stuff. And there's a lot of different ones out there. Storyblocks I've heard a lot of people say good things about them. Music Vine. I mean, these are all libraries that I think are worth checking out. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, I can't give you concrete advice about whether to choose sync or like to choose the royalty-free space. They both can be great options. I think if you're going to send it to sync, send it out a few places, wait to see what happens. If you don't get any response back from them, then yeah, get an application together for Motion Array or Artlist, Music Vine. Those places, you know, those are places that I recommend working with, and I'm sure some other folks in the comments might have some thoughts about some other places you can send it to. Speaking of the comments, Alex has got to go. Dude, all good. Thanks for being here. Hey, Andreas, what's going on? Eric says, are two things playing at the same time? I hope not. Did I mess it up? Nice folky chord progression. Maybe use the same swell used in the ending, also in the start of the song. Right on. John says, agree with Steve, less is more. Yeah, less is often more. Okay, Chad's going to send me a track. I'll check on that in a second. Mr. Manifester, welcome. How do I send a track? You sign up to the Production Music Academy, and then you can participate in a track review. Eric, I did get your track. Thank you for sending. Before I forget, I'll just try to download Eric's or Chad's track here, so otherwise I might forget. Chad, did you send it over email? I don't think I have it yet. Don't have it yet. So let me know where to look for it. Okay, Catalan's up next, but guys, I gotta be honest with you. I have to take the biggest pee. So I'm gonna be right back. Sit tight. Whew. Okay. Back in action. Sorry, guys. It's drinking that smoothie that did it. Yeah, totally. Oh, all right. That felt good. Okay, let's check out Catalan's track. So, what's Catalan saying here? I'm doing a lo-fi hip-hop submission for Motion Array. Sweet. My challenge is to stick to the lo-fi script as much as possible and deliver what is expected in terms of music and production. Research. Went through the tracks showcased in the Academy and listened to the lo-fi staff picks on Motion Array. The plan is to deliver 5 new tracks. 2 are done. And awesome, you got a playlist going. Regarding this track, my fear is that it sounds too much like a 70s record and less like a lo-fi track, and it's perhaps 30 seconds too long. About the track, used our good old friend Splice for sample selection. Something upright from Keyscape. Upright from Keyscape for piano. The UAD Electra Rhodes for bass that ended up sounding like a bass guitar. Strummed guitar from UVI Falcon, and palm muted from Splice, retuned with Melodyne. Cool. Let's check this out. That electric piano does sound like a pretty sweet bass instrument. Great track, Catalan. Okay, I don't know. I had some thoughts. I had some thoughts about this one because I really like this track, especially when we get to this like sweet like vibe here. Like that's just really lovely right there. I love it. I love it. I'm trying to think of like some lo-fi advice for the track. I think there's a couple of things. Let me sort of collect my thoughts here. First of all, I would probably get to the goods a bit sooner. Like I think it feels like this whole buildup is a bit long. Probably get to something a little bit more substantial, like quicker in the mix. I almost think that you could like turn this into almost an immediate A section and get into that right away. This is so vibey with those strings there, and I think, yeah, you don't want to make people wait too long to get to that kind of to that good stuff. You know, that's always my struggle with these lo-fi tracks is like keeping those intros really short and sweet and like just delivering quickly, getting to the point quickly. And I don't know how I would change the arrangement fundamentally, but I guess the other thing that I sort of wonder is, okay, yeah, there's two thoughts I had. One is that I think you could like kind of take what you have going on here and chop it up a bit. I wonder if you could kind of just like take everything other than the drums and the bass and just kind of like sample chop it a little bit to give it more of like that lo-fi, that more of that hip hop feel, like, you know, like just like a little bit of you know, and you could kind of like chop up the rhythm like as if you're putting it through a sampler. Do you know what I mean? Like that kind of thing. I'd be really tempted to take that as a sample and then like put it through I don't know, whatever sampler, and just start chopping it up like MPC style, you know? And like some breaks in the drum patterns, you know, like every now and then would be useful for that too. Some like maybe like a little fill, that kind of thing. And I as much as I love the like what you're doing with the plucks, the guitar stuff. Like it works musically. I wonder if this is a less is more situation too. Like I honestly think the piano chords alone can do like so much work in a lo-fi track if you're, you know, using the right amount of texturization. The guitar work puts it in some kind of different, not, it's still like, you know, lo-fi because the, you know, the beat is sort of lo-fi, but it puts it in a different space for me. Kind of gives it more of like a pop feel or like an indie feel, I guess, with those guitars. I'm not saying to take it out necessarily. It's like it adds something interesting to the mix, but yeah, I don't know. It just feels like there's this long section here, and then when we get to these strings here, it just turns into something completely, totally different and interesting and really vibey. And I think if the you know, the best advice or the best feedback I could give you is just like find a way for this to come in, happen sooner, because I just feel like this is like the most useful. Like if I was listening to this, be like, oh yeah, like definitely gonna use this for like use this part for my cool vlog, whatever I'm doing, you know. Like that's just so vibey. So anyway, hopefully that scatterbrained feedback isn't too all over the place. But I really like the track, Catalan. It's awesome. And yeah, keep us posted with the progress with Motion Array. It's great that you're putting a package of tracks together. It's awesome. What's the crowd saying? Sweet ending. Great composition. Maybe the kick bass pattern is a little too busy and the MI a bit dry, me a bit dry, but awesome vibe and chords. Agreed. I could listen to it on Spotify for sure. Yeah, I was thinking of swapping off the first 16 bars and go straight into it, into A. I don't know. I would do that. Honestly. You could sample this track and make a loop to make a whole new track. Yeah, I agree. I totally agree with that. Also, yeah, John, I think John is onto something here. I would say that you could drive this a little bit further in terms of just like the lo-fi vibe, put it into a bit of RC20 or Sketch Cassette or something like that, and just give it some of that tape vibe. Awesome. Okay, moving on. Next up, Thomas. We got a track here called Energetic Success. And Thomas, what do you got to say here? Probably my presentation will be the least exciting of all, but I'm glad I've finally reached this point. I don't know about the least exciting. Come on, man. It's going to be exciting. I'm excited. The holidays and my daily job didn't help my passion to grow. I realized that many Academy members are in a very different place in terms of working with music libraries. As for me, this will be my first attempt at joining Motion Array. Number one, for this reason, I have prepared 5 different tracks that I felt could be treated as corporate music. However, I tried to make them different from each other in terms of arrangement. So in addition to the immortal and unbreakable palm muted guitar, there are also elements of strings and brass, up to even cyberpunk synthwave. Number 2, I prepared the application as a SoundCloud playlist. Excellent. I've also generated a separate graphic for each song using Midjourney. Nice. To authenticate myself as an artist, I finished my website in August. imakemusic.co and set up a new account on Instagram. Sweet. That's great, man. In addition, I finally sent my first single for distribution via TuneCore, so hopefully I'll be able to share it with you on the 15th of September. Awesome. This is all great to hear. I'm also planning to spam playlist curators really hard to make it work on Spotify. I'd be grateful for constructive criticism and information on what I should improve or include in my submission and whether the playlist I have prepared has a chance of being accepted on Motion Array. I chose this particular track as the most representative of all 5 prepared for the submission. It seems to me that in terms of potential use, it will be the most versatile. I was also inspired by one of Alex's corporate tracks, which did quite well on Motion Array. I've also based the arrangement on brass from Session Horns, supported by some samples from Splice. The drums are mainly addictive drums and samples, and for the bass, I used the Native Instruments Prime bass. Okay, let's check it out. Wow, Thomas, awesome track, man. Really cool to hear. I don't think I've ever heard a corporate track incorporate a horn section so well as that. That's really, really cool to hear that. Really, really cool. Makes me want to kind of try that. I actually just put session horns on some, like, downloaded it, and I've been messing around with it a bit lately. Okay, here's my thoughts on this track. There's just one thing that I would do to make this track like perfect. Take that guitar out. You don't need that. You don't need that funky guitar. Mostly because it's just not playing nice in terms of the key. It's a little dissonant. Like, everything is perfect up into here. When this guitar comes in, it just gets harmonically messy. Something, yeah, just a little bit off happens with those, and I'm talking about those like funky, those guitar skanks. I like the idea behind them, but they just don't need to be in this mix. You can keep it nice and open, and I think the track would just be fantastic without them. Like the little and the sample selection you're using, like just that little transition thing. Sorry, where is it? Then like that little synth thing. Excellent. Yeah, just little stuff like that makes corporate tracks fantastic. I would probably shorten the intro too. Like that's my little corporate music hack. Just get to it like right away. I honestly, like, the last corporate tracks that I started we're doing for Motion Array that did well, I just killed the intro altogether. I just went right into the A section. I feel like it works well. These people have no attention span, It's like, just get into it right away. I mean, you could have started your intro here. But yeah, like, great mix otherwise, and I love the horns, man. I love the horns. What are people saying here? Horns sounded great. Yeah, totally. Andreas says, seems like the Academy members are really taking advantage of the mixing part of the Academy. All tracks are well mixed. Totally. Absolutely, man. Yeah, I feel like the mixes, especially from the folks who have been submitting tracks for quite some time now, I'm hearing tons of improvement. It's super cool to see that. Thomas is not happy about this advice. Yeah, dude, you don't need it. You don't need it, man. You don't need that guitar in there. Jetpad, what's up? I have a song that is about 6 minutes long, and I'm thinking about sending a short edit and an extended edit when cold pitching emails to sync licensing companies. What are your thoughts on that method? I think they're probably only going to have time to hear one version of the track, so I would probably just send them what you think makes sense. 6 minutes is long, so I would probably just send them the shorter edit. Thomas says, I'll admit that I can't imagine a bridge without guitars now, but thanks for the tip. I'll definitely try. Give it a shot, man. Give it a shot. And I know how it is, though. You get like attached to something in the mix, and it's difficult to to strip things back sometimes. Hey, Matahari. I feel like I'm in a similar situation as you, and I feel like this is a really cool track for your first MA application. I totally agree. I think this is exactly the kind of stuff that works on Motion Array. Yeah, you just want to be careful you don't have anything there in that track that doesn't need to be there. That's all it is. can use the intro as a breakdown section so you still have use for it and let the track start right away. Yeah, man, I don't know. All the corporate stuff that I've done for Motion Ray is really, really short intros, and a couple of them don't have any intros at all. So keep that in mind. Good advice, guys. Okay, who's up? Nick, you're up next, man. Okay, what do we got here? This is called Summer Meadow Walk. Okay, hello Steve. For this challenge, I created a SoundCloud demo reel with playlists here. I took a look at that. That looks great. Nick, nice work. Reached out to a few libraries after undertaking some research on their websites. Who founded the company and the news articles. Yeah, that's the way you do it, man. I also looked through what genres of music they have in their libraries, asked them about their application process, whether they accept content ID and tracks registered with PROs, what sample rates they prefer, if they like different length versions of the same track, if tracks are submitted in perpetuity, if they are looking for any specific genres. Most of the tracks in the demo reel haven't been submitted anywhere yet, so I thought it was a good opportunity to get them off of the hard drive. As I produce more tracks, I'll update the playlist, add more in each genre that don't have many, still deciding on which libraries to apply to, but we'll submit an application in the next few weeks. The artwork on the demo reel is mostly from Unsplash or Pixabay. Thanks for the tip. The banner is a picture I took last year. Thanks for organizing this challenge. My pleasure, man. It's just a short track I did a few years ago on an acoustic guitar and some reverb. Oh, and a little drum roll on the body of the guitar. Sweet. Just out of curiosity, Nick, did you reached out, you sent them emails like asking about all of this stuff and like preemptively before you sent off like any music to them? And I'm curious, like, have you heard back from any of them? All right, let's check out this track. Beautiful. That's nice, man. Dude, great guitar playing. That's nice. What did you use to record that? Or what guitar? I'd love to know. Yeah, that was gorgeous. I don't know. Maybe okay, Andreas, you record a lot of acoustic guitar music, right? Or am I thinking of someone else that does a lot of that? But I was thinking that maybe like you could. Let me know what you think, but. Could you maybe roll off a little bit of the lows from the reverb? Maybe felt a little heavy on the bottom. I don't know. What do you guys think? Honestly, it's pretty nice though. I'm being nitpicky. Oh, that's great, Nick. So they both got back to you on your questions. That's awesome. I love when they do that. Yeah, so Catalan saying there's constant G ringing in there in the lower mids. Taking that out would clear the mix. Yeah, I was thinking that there was something a little bit like heavy in the low mids or the bass that could be adjusted slightly in the mix, but all these tracks sound sick. Agreed. Andreas says, I love live acoustics. Just check the little timing nuances when double tracking. I edit acoustics all day long. Yeah, it's one of those things where you don't want it to be like too perfect. You do want to make sure that things are like pretty tidy. I've edited things to death a few times. Never a good situation. That's awesome, Nick. Keep me posted on the applications, man. And that's great to hear that the library's got back to you. Alan, you're up, my friend. Okay, wait. I got to download Chad's track here before I forget, because I totally will forget. I'm half asleep. You'll have to listen to the sirens in the background. Can you guys hear those sirens? There should be a bit of noise cancellation, so maybe not. Chad, I don't see your track in my email, man. Did you send it over the Academy message? I'll check there. No, I don't see it there either. So yeah, let me know. Oh, or you probably sent it over the monthly challenge form. My bad. Yeah, I got it. We're good. Okay, let me just download this and put it into the session real quick so I don't forget to play it. Glad you got something over, man. All right, we're in business. Let me throw this in the bottom of the session. There it is. There it is. Okay, we'll get to that. First, we got to check out Alan's track. So, what is Alan saying? This song is called I Feel Like. Thank you for the advice on Zoom. Oh, yeah, me and Alan had a great conversation on Zoom the other day. And he said he recommended that I apply for Artlist. Absolutely. I did my research on the platform, listened to different artists, and mapped out how most of the songs are structured. I plan to pitch music that is featuring ukulele and my voice because my English is a bit Estonglish. I like that word. Estonian/English. I will use oohs and ahs in the most part to embellish the song. I will put together 5 songs in a similar style. Do you think this kind of style is okay? Maybe too much vocals? Should I keep it more simple? I pictured in my mind a cat food commercial. No VST instruments in the song. Only ukulele-based vocals. Percussion from my ukulele drum kit. Cashmere and Oliver samples. I feel like Alan sent me a the artwork for this track. Should I pull it up? This might take a little while. I got it back. Now, I should probably not do this on the stream. It's going to take too long. Oh, no, there we go. There we go. Here's my artwork. Okay, sharing the artwork. Wait, oh, I'm still getting the hang of this eCam thing. There it is. Look at that cool cat. Okay. Back to the music. Here we go. I feel like it. Yeah. I feel like it. Ooh. Yeah. I feel like really nicely produced, Alan. Great mix. super catchy vibes. Definitely like advertising material. You know what? Okay, this is my thoughts on it were that, and you guys let me know if you agree in the comments. My thoughts on it were that something, it felt like there was something to be desired with like the rhythmic element to it. In terms of like the percussion, I would have I kept hearing like this beat that was like doom 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 doom, you know, that underneath it to give it like more of like a danceable energy. I couldn't help but feel like that would have that would add some licensability to the track. Otherwise, you know, it feels great. Like everything's mixed properly and like the vocals are catchy. I would have maybe added, like in terms of the vocal itself, like nothing wrong with the melody or the lyrics. I would have added a bit more variation to it. And there's a few sections where I think you could like throw something in. And I don't know if this track is like 100% complete yet, but there's probably a little bit of room for something in here. I don't know. You know, it doesn't have to. You don't have to fill it with all sorts of different stuff, but like some kind of like variation there might be nice. I really like the melody that's going on here. That's really cool. That whatever that you're using to get. I mean, I don't know if that's an ukulele, but I like that a lot. I wonder if that could kind of go in the middle somewhere too. Yeah, I don't know what you guys think. I mean, I don't want you to have to reinvent the whole song, like because the beat is like, but I was like, I felt like something more swingy would have like could maybe help. Anyway, I feel bad because I don't want you to like feel like you're doing anything wrong here. It's a great track. Just maybe like a bit of a just sharing honest thoughts about how I felt about the, you know, how I sort of envisioned or how I would approach like a track like this, like a ukulele type track. I don't know. Am I wrong, guys? See what people are saying here. Nice mix. What did you use for mastering? Squeezed really nice. Something big from drums, that knock from splice. Great track, can be licensed right away. Not sure about the Let Me Entertain You bridge near the end, and the ending is a bit abrupt too, but that's a track. Great. Cool. Good comments, guys. Good thoughts. Catchy vocal. Yeah, absolutely catchy vocal. Did I come down too hard on this track? I feel like I'm not really giving like the most constructive feedback. I don't want to be like, just change everything. Great advice. Thanks. I agree the percussion needs work. Okay. Don't dare to add the Mambo number 5. That's exactly what it is. Yeah, the Mambo number 5 groove. Come on, man, it's so catchy. You know, we all love that Mambo number 5 groove. It's the best. Oh, that's so funny. Okay, thanks so much, Alan. Awesome track. And yeah, you know what? Actually, it's funny because speaking about art list, there's so much of like, you know, the cinematic, folky, orchestral, you know, piano tracks. There's lots of pop, there's lots of hip hop on there, but there is a whole section for like this type of track. Like actually they put a lot of this kind of stuff under the kids. They have like a kids section that has a lot of like non-art listy types of music on there, if that makes any sense. They have all kinds of stuff. Anyway, I think at the end of the day, what they're looking for is really well produced music, and that this song is really nice. Sounds really good. Mix is great. So thanks, Alan. Awesome stuff. Keep up the great work. Next up, we got a track from Wish, and this is called Energetic Corporate. And did Wish send me some notes? Hope so. Yeah, you did. Hi, Steve. I've chosen Motion Array for this challenge, and I've been preparing for it for quite some time. Joining the Academy highlighted the importance of a personal website and tracks on platforms like Spotify. Built my website last April, used TuneCore to distribute the tracks. However, honestly, I think that these may not be the best fit for Motion Array because they're all over the place in terms of musical styles. Nonetheless, I've now selected 5 tracks from my catalog for submission. Okay, let's check this track out. Great job, Wish. Yeah, all the ingredients for the corporate vibes are here. You know, this is like classic corporate. I think that the mix is strong. The sample selection is right on. Everything works for me in terms of like it being like a good corporate track. I just think that you got a little room to breathe. And you got a little room for some interesting like texturization to take it away from like the loop factor. There's, you know, I think that could be a lot of things. You know, I mean, from my perspective, like when I write a track like this, where like, you know, all the elements are kicking, you know, they're feeling good, they're playing together nicely. I usually like try to throw in like little one shots, and I kind of think of it as just like sprinkling some like extra, you know, spice onto the meal. You know, just a little vocal shot here and there, like a little synth transition, just like a little pattern interrupt every now and then. I think that you could probably throw something like that in there every once in a while. And it might add a little bit of extra flavor. Everything else is good. It's just like everything else just feels good. And by the way, the drums sound great. Like it all just feels good, you know? It feels good. I just want to make the point that there's like a lot of tracks like this on Motion Array. So when you send them something, you're going to want to look for that like extra edge, because, you know, they already hear quite a few tracks that are like this. And I think that with corporate music, there's a lot of room to breathe some, you know, your own kind of personality, your own like special touch into it. And so I don't know, I don't have any specific suggestions, but like for me, like what really worked well for me was throwing in like little vocal samples, you know, just like little, like just every once in a while, just to breathe some life, breathe some interesting life and texture into it. And I think you could probably add a few things in there. That would be that's sort of like, yeah, my feedback for you. I mean, otherwise, like I don't really have anything to say about the mix and the composition and the instruments you're using. All sound pretty damn good to me. What do y'all think? Great track from Wish. Hey, Cedric's in the house. What's going on, man? Uh-oh. My camera got all fuzzy there for a second. I'm not sure what happened. Cedric, how are you? Hello. Hi from France. Cedric was nice enough to pay me a visit in Vancouver when he was on vacation with his family. On the summer, we had barbecue on the beach. It was great. Hope you're doing well, dude. It's good to see you. What's that? What else is going on here? Frozen Jazz in the house, yes. Nick's got I'm going to have to leave now, but we'll catch up with the last few tracks later this evening. Thanks for putting this on, Steve, and great to hear everyone's tracks. Hey, man, Nick, it's great to see you as always. Thanks so much for sending the track over, and yeah, wishing you a great rest of your day, man. Take care. Thomas says, I see me and Wish have very energetic titles. Yeah. Yeah, those background marching drums are very cool. They could do with +4 dB in the mix. Yeah, I feel like those could come up too. Steve is already having Calpirina? What's that? Jetpad says maybe a little shorter. Yeah, I was going to say that it feels, it could probably, you probably get away with it being a bit shorter. I agree. Cedric says, on the same page, I think adding some ear candy on this corporate track would be a good idea. Yeah, a little ear candy, a little sprinkle here and there, I think would help. And then you're well on your way for sure. Okay, thanks so much, Wish. Yeah, keep me posted on this application. I'm sure you'll get into Motion Array, man. This is you're writing great stuff. Okay, we got a few more. This is from our buddy Eric Copeland, who's probably not in the stream anymore. He probably got too bored with me rambling on about whatever. Always good to hear Eric's music. And if you guys don't know who Eric Copeland is, you can go check out his YouTube channel, Make Music Income. Lots of amazing information there for you. Okay, well, what's this all about? This is called Christmas with the Mozarts. I think this is a dramedy track. Let's check it out. Really well produced, man. Really well produced. It's a great mix. I love the what you're. I gotta actually, you gotta tell me what you're using for these that little pit stuff. The background, just really nice mix. Actually, really really nice mix. Well done. No feedback. I mean, it's great. These I mean, you know, it's funny. This is like. It reminds me of like when you go to a grocery store in like as soon as Halloween is over, the Europeans in the stream are not, I guess you guys don't celebrate Halloween very much in Europe, but like as soon as Halloween's over here, they start playing Christmas music in the grocery stores, and you're just like, it has begun. That's how I felt. It's like, Christmas. I gotta start saving up for gifts. We're gonna go all out for Christmas this year, guys. We're going all out. I love it, Eric. I love it, man. Yeah, I'm gonna listen to that next time I'm in a bad mood, because that just lifted my spirits. It's great. Mozart's ghost is gonna come in your dreams tonight for making his piece major. It's never too early for Christmas. I sold a Christmas track on Pawn 5 the other day. Awesome. Yeah, it's true. It's never too early. It's true. It feels like Christmas now, especially seeing those Christmas trees behind Steven on there. Yeah, totally. It's always Christmas in the studio. Why this tune sounds so familiar? Mozart. You guys are awesome. Okay, we got a couple more tracks. Let's check them out. Who's up? Oh yeah, John. I have not heard this track yet. And did you send me some notes? I think you probably did, but I got to dig them up here. 1 second. Is this it? Nope. One back. Okay, here we go. This track's called Easy Street. And John says, the library I have chosen is Art List. Awesome. I will apply using my lo-fi hip-hop name, Tangerine Sun. My strategy is to produce 5 new songs which aren't currently registered in Content ID. Based on research within the Academy, I know how to answer the questions on the Artlist application form. Thanks. I also need to create a new webpage dedicated to my lo-fi artist brand and a SoundCloud playlist with the 5 new songs. Are you going to create a new website just for the lo-fi brand? I mean, it's like, you already have a personal website, right, John? So it's like, I'm not sure if like, I would be struggling with that personally, just because the costs are going to add up. I guess it depends on what website service you're using. I know that like Squarespace just gets like, it's pretty expensive, but I suppose you could build a website for a brand like pretty cheap if you're doing it with like, oh my God, the name is eluding me right now. What's the I can't think of the website builder because I'm losing it, guys. I'm losing it. But yeah, let me know what your strategy is there, just because I would be reticent to build like multiple Squarespace pages. That's for sure. That's just way too expensive. But I wonder if you could just like maybe do it like if you could get away with just having a Spotify profile for your new your lo-fi brand, and whether that would be enough for an Artlist application. Just a thought. Anyway, sorry. Let's play this track. Here we go. killer track. Oh man, John, I love it. I love it, man. You're yeah, you really got the artless cinematic lo-fi vibe down on this one. Really, really cool track, man. My gut feeling, just to like give you a bit of feedback on the mix would be to tame that like Celesta type top line melody or synth thing that you got going on just a little bit. It feels like a bit bright in the mix. I almost don't think you need it in this part because like for me that the guitar is just doing so much of the heavy lifting. It's so vibey. I just want to hear that alone. Like I'm kind of craving just to hear that alone because it's super powerful. I love how you changed direction here too. Super vibey, man. Yeah, like I really like that melody. Nothing wrong with that. It's a really cool melody. Yeah, that would be my only like real feedback for this track is it just feels a bit bright. I think you could bring it down, but that's a teeny weeny little detail. Otherwise, man, just killer production. The drums and the bass and the vibe are spot on. I love it. What's going on in the comments here? WordPress. Thank you, Jetpad. Yes, that's what I was thinking about. Oh, Wix. Okay, John's using Wix. Excellent. I guess WordPress is probably the cheapest way, right? Andreas says maybe Steve would start it earlier, add vocal chops and beef up the drums a little. I thought the drums felt good to me. The drums felt good. I'm all about the vocal chops. I think that they add like a ton of it, or a ton of flavor, but they don't always have to be there. I mean, with the right texturization, it doesn't need to be vocal stuff. Yeah, the drums felt good though. If it were my production, the drums probably would be higher because that's how I roll, which isn't always the best approach. I've been told to turn it down a few times. Yeah, Alan says I love the stops and breaks. Totally. Another great track, super well produced, for sure. Pietro, welcome. Hi there, Stevie. I've been following your channel for a while now, and I just wanted to share my appreciation for everything that you do and for all the amazing content you post. Dude, thank you so much. Appreciate that, man. It's very nice. Guitar slides are so sweet. Now you like guitar to the toes. I'm sorry, man. Jetpass said, how do you send metadata for songs when cold pitching? Is that necessary? I don't know if it's necessary when pitching. I mean, but you can embed metadata into a disco playlist. I do that sometimes with the disco app, and sometimes that's useful depending on who I'm sending it to. Cedric says, very nice break in the middle. On my side, currently listening on a bad BT speaker, and the guitar is nice, but becomes a bit too upfront after a few loops. Okay. Cedric's got some lo-fi up on Artlist, which you can go check out, by the way. It's called Under Frozen Jazz. It's really, really well-produced stuff. Hey, man. Thanks for being here. Appreciate you. agree about the Celesta. Maybe all you need is a little EQ adjustment. I think so. I think so. Yeah, lowering it by an octave could work too, for sure. Okay, awesome. John, always a pleasure, man, to feature your work. Great stuff. And dude, you're for sure on your way to getting these tracks up onto Artlist for sure. I mean, you're definitely are nailing the vibe, the Artlist vibe. Sure, but keep me posted on the submission package before you send it. Like, I'd love to hear the whole thing. And let me know. I can't remember if you said in your comments whether you're going to send them like 3 or 5 tracks, but I'd recommend 3. By the way, I think they prefer smaller submissions, like 3. It's easier for them to market it. Yeah, if anyone's like trying to get on to Artlist, keep that in mind. This is the last one. This is a track from our buddy Chad. And did Chad send me some info? Let's see here. Yes. Just finished and uploaded my EP to DistroKid. Nice. I think I might try to get a couple more tracks together for a library submission. Maybe aim for Motion Array. Yeah, I absolutely think you should. Also want to create my website soon. Totally. I spoke to Chad fairly recently over Zoom, and his studio is looking so sweet. He built it from the ground up, and it is impressive, man. I was like, dude, I wish I had a background that looked like that. My YouTube videos would look so much cooler. But yeah, man, Chad, always a pleasure to feature your music on these streams, dude. This track is called Pieces of Light. He says, got back to trying to come up with some cool lo-fi chill hip-hop stuff. It felt like it'd be a good thing for me to submit for libraries. Okay, cool. Let's give it a spin here. Beautiful, man. Yeah, it's funny every time, because I've heard this track before, and every time I listen to it, I hear something new. I mean, there's just so much beautiful guitar texturization in this track, and like the melody and the motif are just so they feel laser focused. It feels very intentional. The vibe is locked in 100%. I wonder if you need those like kind of like strums like doom 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 on the in the background here. I guess it's kind of like being a theme today, but sort of like less is more sometimes. I feel like there's some things, there's a lot of information there, but it doesn't feel cluttered. Like it's sitting right in the mix, but I'm not totally, because there's another section where I think there's another breakdown where it comes in. Maybe not. Yeah, I kind of like here it makes a little bit more sense when it's open and I can hear it better. When it's behind everything, it's like sometimes it almost felt a little bit too like there's maybe too much information. I don't know. I think I'm just looking for things to be picky about. I don't know. This track is lovely. I might come into the A section a bit sooner, just a bit quicker. If it's going to motion array. That being said, like I can't remember if you were planning. I think you were. Yeah, this is part of a motion array submission, right? Because the last conversation we had, we were talking about where to send these tracks, and I was encouraging you to keep, a few tracks that you have total control over. And I think that this is something that's really important to mention in this stream, is that like, cause I speak to a lot of folks that they've been working hard on like a submission and like they don't have like a website or Spotify or anything set up yet. And I just think that if I'm putting myself in like other people's shoes, like, and I've been working like for 3 or 4 months on like 3, say 5 songs that I'm really stoked on, that I want to get out there into the licensing world. There's no way that I'm going to sign like an exclusive contract with a sync library where I lose control of like where I can upload the tracks and use them as like a marketing tool. Before I do anything, like I think it's just really important, before I sign any like exclusive deals with production libraries, like I need to have a body of work online that I have full control over, and that I could put up on my Spotify, that I could use on non-exclusive libraries if I wanted to. So I just think that, yeah, like if at a starting point, like, you know, if you don't have anything to kind of showcase online, I would think twice about kind of sending it over to like a sync library that's going to have some kind of really restrictive contract about, you know, and say like, well, you can't do anything. Like we have full publishing control over this. You can't put it on Spotify. You can't put it on your website. It's like, man, you're really rolling the dice with that. You know, it's like there's nothing wrong with working with sync libraries and production libraries, and it's not like an exclusive deal is a bad deal. It's a great deal if they can get it onto television and like get you some money on the back end. That's great. But like I just think as a starting point, like if I'm just starting out and I don't have a website together, I don't have a Spotify, I'm just starting to get my social media game together, you know, or trying to represent myself as an artist to some extent. I want to hold on to a batch of songs as that I have total control over. And that is one of the advantages of working with some of these, like, you know, royalty-free libraries, is that you do retain control over it, and you do, and I can use it, you know, for my Spotify. So it's important to keep that in mind, I think, as when you're kind of starting up. Jetpad says, do we have to be in the Academy to submit songs for review? Yes, you do. Otherwise, these streams would be way longer than I could handle. I often wonder, you know, as the Academy grows and these submissions and these challenges get, like, more people are submitting to them, I don't know exactly how I'm going to handle it, because like, how long have we been doing this stream? It's partly my fault because I talk too much, but yeah, I can only handle so many reviews, so got to keep it to the Academy. Great track. Maybe the main guitar line could be lower in the mix. John says, or maybe a little reverb would help it sit better. Yeah, I think I actually encouraged Chad to bring that guitar forward in the mix, just because I felt like it was carrying like the weight of the track, and it felt like the most compelling part of the track. But I wonder, if it could come down a bit. It's quite loud when you. It's not that it's too loud. I think that maybe it's like you could split the difference a little bit with the drum presence. So like you can maybe bring the guitars down, and that would give a little bit more room for the drums and bass to breathe, perhaps. But I just like that riff so much. I think that riff being front and center in the mix kind of like makes sense to me. It just feels like that's like the the main motif right there. That's like the main vibe. I love the vocal chops and the texturization there. Chad, dude, this is great. This is great. Great stuff. Okay. All right. I think I got to wrap this stream up, guys. Been going. Arco says I've been going for more than 2 hours. That's more than I anticipated. I think some people have left too. they've abandoned ship. They're out of here. All right, guys. It's been a pleasure. I guess I'm not going to feature any of my own work on this stream today. I kind of failed at this challenge myself. Usually, like on every other challenge, I participated, and in this one I have not, and I apologize. I have been inundated with just too many things, but I am sort of slowly putting together a package for a new submission, but it is not ready. Is not ready yet, and it's not ready to showcase on the stream. So anyway, these streams are about you guys, not me, and I'm always stoked to feature you guys' work. I'm so impressed with the members of the Academy for participating in this challenge. It was a tough one, and especially coming at the end of August, as people are wrapping up their summers. It's just busy as hell. Big shout out to Catalan for the suggestion on the challenge. I'm always open to suggestions from you guys. Alexandra just sent me a great suggestion for next month. So I guess I'll post that up in the Academy soon, and we'll get started. Alan says I would sidechain the guitar with drums to duck the drums when guitar is playing. Good suggestion. Thanks for the feedback, as always. These tracks are crazy. Yeah, I mean, I know you worked hard on them, Chad, man. And it's like, dude, and another, this is like another instance of just an unbelievable amount of progress in such a short period of time. Like, because I was listening to Chad's tracks, like a year ago, and they're on a whole new level at this point. So it goes to show you, man, put the work in. Give it a year, put hard work in every day if you can, and it's a game changer no matter what you're trying to get done, All right. It's been a pleasure, guys. I guess I'm going to end this stream. I don't even know how to end this stream in this new program I'm using, but oh, there it is. Finish. Okay. All right. Wishing you well. Signing off. Take care, guys, and hit the old like button for me if you enjoyed that, and subscribe to the channel. Keep in touch. I got a lot of very interesting content just around the corner for the rest of this month. And hit me up over email if you got any questions about the Academy. Happy to get back to you. And I guess, that's all she wrote. Peace out. Lots of love.